Good morning, everyone. My name is Sue Lovell. I'm very familiar with this historic preservation ordinance and worked very, very hard to pass it, and I still believe in it. I do, though, believe that now we need to put some predictability and stability into this ordinance and design guidelines, which we have in other historic districts and work very well, should be in place for the Heights. And the mayor said she was supportive of that, and I'm glad to hear that she is. And I would like to ask you all to some way ask that we move forward, put a committee together, go out to public hearings, come back to this council, and have design guidelines that you vote on, so the people that are investing in the Heights will be able to know exactly what they can do. And there's an example, Mr. Watson. The staff works with him, the staff says recommendation for approval. He goes to the commission, and the commission says, no, we don't think so. Oh, but we want you to bring a 3D rendering, so we're going to defer. Well, what that costs our customer, our clients, is a lot of time.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
I'm asking there, please, if we can have design guidelines. We'll open it up.
As I already previously stated, I have no objections to design guidelines. They would, and if neighborhoods have suggested design guidelines, they are welcome to submit them to the planning department staff. They will be drafted and developed by staff to come to council, and they would require a district by district vote by city council.
Agree.
I actually think that that's a path fraught with peril, because I'm not sure that there's a single member of city council who is an expert in that area. But, so be careful what you wish for. I'm not opposed to it.
The people that did oppose it, and I know them well, are actually in favor because they've discovered exactly what we told them, that this was good for the neighborhood and people will move in. So I don't know we have the kind of opposition and pushback. I think we have a united front across the board for people in the neighborhoods and other people who will come forward and ask this council to support the guidelines. It would certainly be better than the process that's in place now.
I think we need a motion to extend.
So moved.
Second. Go. Second. Chair opposed, motion carries. Chair recognizes Vice Mayor Pro Tem Bradford.
Thank you, Mayor Sue. Good seeing you again. It's fair to say that the ordinance that, Chief here, that you helped build it, constructed, and implemented, or you were part of the legislative history behind the ordinance. It's fair to say that you were a spokesperson for it. Now it seems like something has gone just terribly wrong with implementation out here. These are some of the concerns that I and a couple others expressed, that if we didn't have particular guidelines in place, that it would be implemented in a way, as has been said, that's clearly on its face, and you look at some of the decisions, they're arbitrary and capricious. That's no other way of saying that. So what has gone wrong with implementation?
Well, I don't think it's terribly wrong, Council Member.
I do.
I've been involved with it and I've been trying to help. And it is, as anybody knows, when you're building, you really need something that's predictable that you could look at that's not subjective. And it works very well in the old 6th Ward and in the new historic districts that have guidelines. The Heights, where it is so busy right now, is especially needed because there's so much development going on.
Favoring the vote, motion carries.
If in fact you have projects that are delayed for months, hundreds of thousands of dollars being deferred, and the uncertainty of what can and cannot be done, isn't that contrary to what was sold to the neighborhood about what the ordinance would do?
I don't know that it's contrary. I think that any ordinance is progress and work sometimes. Now we're saying, hey, this is working, but it could work better by coming forward and putting some predictability in, such as formulas for how far back can you go from addition. Instead of having just this 11 criteria you could choose from, the staff works really hard to deal with people and work through it, and then they get in front of the commission, and the commission decides that they don't want that, and they send it back. A little bit better coordination on, and just some things that streamlines the process, I think will help. It's been working. Heights is really busy. Council members will tell you it is. It's just a tweaking of this and putting in some more predictability to make it work better. The people that opposed it will tell you they're for this because they're all really busy. They're building. They just want to be able to go to their clients and say, here's what you can do and here's what you can't do. Here's what the commission will approve, here's what the commission won't. So you don't come up and one day it's one thing, and then another day maybe it sort of doesn't work for this, so.
One
That's all
last
right.
question before the bell dings again. You've been before the commission on many occasions, you've watched their actions. Is it your professional opinion that the commission is operating within the ordinance?
I think they're operating within the way the ordinance is now. That's why we're asking for it to be improved by putting predictable things in that will help our customers continue to build in our neighborhoods and increase our tax base.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you.
A reminder, council members, when we vote for the 1 minute rule, it also applies to council members and council.
I didn't know we were on the 1 minute because I was ready to trade.
This is, the vast majority of the projects, dozens and dozens of things go through the Hartsville Historical Commission with no problem. There are a handful of projects that get gummed up, but overall, the lots.
More than a handful, Mayor.
Yeah, but I would say well more than 90% of the things just fly through with very little debate. Councilmember Noriega.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm waiting for the bell on the card just to get my comments in before that. It's good to see you. Councilmember Lovell really contributed to this ordinance and putting together what works.
And I still believe in it. I want it to be successful.
I appreciate that. What businesses talk about is one certainty. I don't think having citizens and homeowners have that same ability is a problem, and I don't think it's unreasonable or weird to think we need to tweak a little here and there. All these ordinances are very complex. Every situation is different. What I would appreciate are specifics, as people have particular input that they want to bring forward, if they could bring it to the planning department and let us know as well. The more specific information, the more data, the more ways and tools that we have, the better. I know Councilmember Cohen, who this is her district, she's got staff working on it, and everybody's just wants this to be productive and successful for everyone. Thank you for coming.
A motion to extend time, please. Second. Favoring, opposed, motion carries. Councilmember Cohen.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Sue. Councilmember Bradford actually asked the question I had down, but I'm not sure that I have the actual specifics. And I do want to add that I do get an awful lot of calls. Mayor, I don't know whether it's, what the percentages are, of 90% not, but I can tell you that the passion that I get in terms of concerns that homeowners and builders have about wanting to live in the Heights, keep the integrity, make sure that there's historical purity, but that they're being hamstrung, and it concerns me. The question I had was, what has gone wrong? Succinctly, what has gone wrong as far as you're concerned, and what is the solution?
Well, I think first that the people were told, start 60% back when you add on. And then the commission said they wanted 75. Now they've come to, they really want you to save and preserve the whole house, add on to the back of the house, and that's been done. And so everybody does that, then they come to the commission says, well, I don't want it set all the way back, it's taking up the whole backyard. But that's what you said, so it's kind of like trying to nail down Jell-O, and it really should just be, here's what we want, here's what we'll approve, and work within these confines, and there are times for variances, just like in any other thing that we have. That right now is what needs to be in place, and design guidelines will give you that template that you can use and go forward.
Okay, and I guess just a quick follow-up to that was, have you and the people you're representing articulated this in a written form? Because I haven't seen it in terms of suggestion. And if you haven't, my suggestion would be to do it, sit down with me or any other council members and see where we are with this, and see where we can move forward on it, because I know it's so frustrating.
It is, and here's the great appeals process, here's what's happening now. People are going in front of, they get staff, recommend approval, they get in front of the commission decides no, everybody's sort of confused as to what, they go to the planning commission looks at it and says, well, staff approved, and that's who is taking the most time with you. And that's not the way to do this, and you may end up with an appeal in front of council. that may come forward. So it sort of isn't the way to do it. I just
Is
see
there
it
a
working
motion
much
to,
more.
there's been a second, favoring, opposed, motion carries.
The new districts have guidelines, and it seems to work. The sixth ward, although not perfect, they're a template you can take in and use. And the Heights, which right now, which there is so much going on, and so much development, so many families that want to move there, to me, this just gives you a tool to improve the process.
I would simply, again, I'm not opposed to it, I would simply say that once we get that tool, there'll be a lot of folks coming in and complain about how prescriptive it is. So we need to be careful about that. And the disconnect is not with the staff, it is with the Archaeological Historical Commission, which wants to substitute its judgment on occasion for that of the staff. Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. Once a council member to me, always a council member. Good to see you.
I couldn't get a good parking today.
Right. To some extent. But I think that what you're asking for, you and the residents, is reasonable. I think that if design guidelines are good enough for the old Sixth Ward and for the new districts coming online, i.e. Germantown, then clearly there's a place for them. Clearly it's a helpful tool, and they should be in the older ones as well that were passed previously. So we need to find a way forward to make sure that they do have design guidelines. I think the mayor's open to that. It's just a matter of finding a way forward.
As a suggestion on process, and thank you, my council member, your two districts, you have the Heights, if we could maybe approach your offices combined, sit down, come up with, in the planning department. And I want to say, the staff is awesome. They work very hard, they're very knowledgeable, and they're really good to work with. There is, when you get to the commission, things change, and that, you just can't do business that way.
Understand.
It's not fair to our constituents.
Thank you.
And it just personally, can the library open its parking up before 10 o'clock on Wednesdays? Because like today, you couldn't, I couldn't park. It's the most perfect place to park. Why would we turn down that revenue?
I will ask.
Because you have no parking because of the wonderful, wonderful farmer's market today, but yet we have a resource sitting there that you can't park.
Not a bad idea.
We could use the revenue, certainly. All right, thank you so much.